Help, should I pursue professional weightlifting?
Hell, I wouldn't mind a sandwich.
Help, I'm allergic to beer nuts.
Help! My girlfriend, she's at the end. She is starting to cry. Help me!
People, please, don't worry, I got this. Brought to you, as always, by Argyle. Ready to break even July 13, 2057.
Look, Ma, no pre-existing IP necessary.
What should I watch tonight? I got The Vanishing of Sydney Hall, Disappearance at Clifton Hill, and The Not There-ness of Stilton Horror. Ding, 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 ding.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Al Hi-Fi. Welcome to the show. Today we got a rip-roaring roundup of some new horror releases. Yeehaw. In stop motion, Aisling Franciosi stars as Ella, a young filmmaker whose mom happens to be a world-famous stop-motion animator. Ella works as her mom's main assistant and technician, but their relationship ain't great. For anyone who's ever tried to do stop-motion animation, you know that the work is endless and completely nerve-wracking. Mom sort of seems like a domineering taskmaster, and all Ella wants to do is prove to her mother that she's a creative artist in her own right. Her mom doesn't seem convinced. Mom's hands are useless because of arthritis, so Ella is now tasked with making those delicate movements with the metal armature puppets. When Mother strokes out and eventually dies, Ella's sanity starts to plummet. The mental abuse that she took for so long, her artistic frustrations, plus her toxic superiority complex that she seems to have developed, all combine to make Ella go kooky. In a way, stop motion is sort of a typical I'm descending into madness kind of movie where 33% of it is dream sequences and nightmares, another 33% is just hallucinations, and the other 33% might be reality, but you're not sure. Ella seems to be suffering from movie craziness. It's an affliction that, say, Robin Williams had in The Fisher King. It's when, one moment you may be completely lucid and happy and funny, the next moment you're a raving lunatic. Ella's characters take a turn for the grotesque when the girl she invented suggests that she combine raw meat with the wax that she uses to make the puppets. Soon Ella is cutting her own leg open and using some of her own meat for her puppets. I think you all can guess what the next step is in her artistic process. She's going to be looking for other sources of meat to make her yucky puppets. Stop motion does have some great and disturbing animated sequences in it, although I wouldn't quite call them scary. It's more like watching a Tool video over and over again. But the film definitely deserves to be put on the shelf next to new notable stop-motion movies such as Phil Tippett's Mad God, Charlie Kaufman's Anomalisa, and Jenny Slate's Marcel, the Shell. She sells, she sells. She sells, he sells. So stop motion is still a cool, if minor, slice of art house horror. A better movie about an artist going psycho might be 2019's Bliss, in which an up-and-coming painter suddenly gets a taste for blood after experiencing a serious creative block. In Immaculate, Sydney Sweeney is a naive, devout girl who gets an invitation to join the nunnery in a gorgeous monastery in Rome. Her joy and excitement is soon squashed, however, when she arrives and finds out there's something sinister going on within those hallowed walls. It turns out she's been chosen as a candidate to possibly give birth to Jesus number 2. How is this possible? Well, it's simple, really. The church happens to own one of the nails that was used in Christ's crucifixion. They're going to scrape off a little Jesus DNA and just shove it up her, and that's about it. This plot actually reminded me of the Devil Conspiracy from a couple of years ago, which is a batshit, Euro-trashy action fantasy that happens to be really entertaining. In the Devil Conspiracy, evil forces try to squeeze some Jesus DNA out of the Shroud of Turin, which is the shmata that Jesus wore at his burial. Anywho, what sets Immaculate apart from the pack is its beautiful setting, gorgeous costumes, great cinematography, and Sydney Sweeney's performance. Sydney Sweeney is one of those actors that can seem sort of bland one moment and then perfectly fine the next, but when it comes time for some very satisfying payback and unhinged screaming, she is up for the job. Immaculate's shocking final moments are especially impressive, and Sweeney achieves a sort of intensity that you rarely see. I also appreciated the filmmaker's desperate efforts and, let's face it, eventual failure to hide Sweeney's enormous breastises. A Herculean task indeed. People should also check out HBO's Reality, in which Sweeney plays reality winner, the young Air Force veteran who in 2018 went to prison for releasing top-secret government information to the media. All of the dialogue in Reality is taken verbatim from actual FBI recordings. Late Night with the Devil stars everyone's favorite weird guy David Dastmalchian as a fictional late-night talk show host from the 70s, Jack Delroy. Delroy's career is on the downswing, and for Sweeps Week, he decides to bring in some radical guests. He invites a parapsychologist author onto the show who brings her prized patient, a young girl who claims to be possessed. Along for the ride is a magician who now sees himself as a professional skeptic, Carmichael the Conjurer. The conceit here is that we're watching the final unaired episode of Night Owls with Jack Delroy that apparently has just been discovered. It's also intercut with black and white behind-the-scenes footage. As found footage movies go, the setup is kind of believable, but I don't know what two film cameras are shooting backstage for. Meh, I'll allow it. But I was thinking it's much more believable to set a found footage movie in the present day, because there are so many ways that people are being videotaped. Doorbell cams, CCTV, phones, video conferences. There's just endless ways for people to be recorded. I think the further back you go in time, the less convincing that found footage movie will be. So basically, I loved everything about Late Night with the Devil except the movie itself. Does that make sense? I love that the cinematography is trying to mimic that faded 3/4 inch, 1 inch videotape look, and I love watching a recreation of a 70s talk show. The problem is Night Owls with Jack Delroy is a terrible show. It's boring, and Jack Delroy is not a comedian, he's just a dork, and he's completely unfunny. Just like most TV shows from the 70s were. It was a time when audiences were mostly treated like they were 3-year-olds. Case in point, the Donnie and Marie show and the Star Wars Christmas special. Dastmalchian is a great performer, but he's not at all convincing as a late-night talk show host. Lily Diabo, who is the possessed girl, is perfectly fine, and the eventual reveal of the demon within her is really cool, but it takes way too long to get there. You're pretty much just stuck for a long time watching a terrible TV show. It's like an SCTV skit without the laughs. Where's Sammy Maudlin and Bobby Bittman when you need them?
Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and share. Most importantly, subscribe and hit that alarm button. Remember, I have a film degree, so you don't have to.